Rumors are already starting to swirl. We're not even at the end of the season yet. Still, we have some decisions we're going to have to make that are going to be major coming up this offseason. Will he stay? Will he go? Hey, we just don't know. But what we are going to do is get into the major reports for you guys. Welcome back to Hawks Digest. It's Chris Tipmore again. Hey, take off your shoes, leave on your socks. We about to get into this major report. Hey, but before I do that, I'm gonna give you guys your shout out and go and roll right into things. Thank you, everyone who is subscribed to Hawks Digest. Man, we are in the 30 percentile as far as people who are tuning in and who are already subscribed. So thank you guys for coming back to Hawks Digest, making us one of your first listens when you need that Hawks content. And if you are still in that 60 percentile range, I advise you to please, to come on over to Hawks Digest and allow us to prove to you that we are here to drop the news for you, that we are here for you when you need that Hawks content. Just come on over. So, this major report is surrounding around All-Star, four-time All-Star Trae Young. And it's coming from an NBA insider, somebody who's been working around the NBA since 2017, but he went national in 2020. And that's this young man right here, Evan Cedery. He is saying teams are monitoring Trae Young as a potential trade target this summer. Young becomes eligible to sign a 4-year, $229 million extension with the Hawks, which makes it the decision time for both sides. You're darn right it is. If Young doesn't sign it, it will indicate that a trade could soon be on the horizon. Now, as for Ice Trae Young, he's averaging 24 points, 3.2 rebounds, 11.5 assists, 1.1 steals, of course 0.2 blocks, but he will get a block here and there. 4.8 turnovers, yeah, concerning. Only 2 fouls per game, shooting 40% from the field, 32% from three. Now, some of these numbers are career highs, some of these numbers are career lows. As far as like the assist goes, that's high numbers and high marks for Trae Young. And if he holds that or exceeds that, that's going to be one of his best totals as far as assists goes. Now you look at the field goal percentage, it has been around in the 40-ish range for the last few years, 42, 44, 41, stuff like that. The three-point percentage is probably the most concerning out of them all, just because that has steadily been going down, down, down. Now, you could credit it to maybe some of the logo type threes, but honestly, out of the percentile, he's one of the highest that actually makes those from that distance. Also, you think about the shot selection and you think about the turnovers, and I know those are things that people hone in on. It's been so many people that have said for years, you cannot win a championship with Trae Young. Well, I would oppose that because I think you can win a championship with a point guard like Trae Young. I look at Isaiah Thomas and how he was able to win championships. They put guys who were bruisers around him, and he led the charge. But Isaiah had a mean streak to him as well. So, he had a competitive edge. I look at Trae Young and I look at the things that he can do on the basketball floor. And my thing is, okay, if we don't give him an extension, right, who are we going to bring in who is better than him, who is willing to come to Atlanta? Listen to what I'm saying. Who can we bring in who would be better than Trae, who is willing to come to Atlanta to play for the Atlanta Hawks? When you break it down like that, I really don't see how you get better if you move on from Trae Young. Yes, is the money a lot? Guys, we're talking about anywhere between 52 to 55 mil a year. $229 million extension for 4 years. That's where you're going to be in. It's going to be some years it's going to be more than others, of course. Most likely that back end is going to be the highest. And that's the cost of doing business, unfortunately, guys. You're going to have to pay somebody unless you're going to go into full rebuild mode. And why would we go into full rebuild mode? Now, something that you do have to think about is, does Trae Young want to sign that extension? Just like Mr. Evans said, would he want to sign? Would he do? He does he think? Does he believe in the organization and the direction that we're going with Zach, with Dyson, etc.? Can we get other pieces to come down here and be a part of what we're trying to build, the foundation that we're trying to build here in Atlanta, and actually believe in what we're trying to do? You know, do we have a front office that is able to persuade players and show the league, hey, we are able to do good business. We are able to dig ourselves out of holes. It's just we need better players to fit into our system. Will Quin continue to be the head coach? We also know that Trae Young and Quin Snyder, they are two peas in a pod when it says, hey, I need this person, hey, and I need this person. How long of a rope does Quin have? Because there are chatters about Quin. There are fans who legitimately do not want Quin Snyder as the head coach of the Atlanta Hawks. But yet, our superstar does. So there's so many questions, so many things swirling around this. And you think about it, have the Atlanta Hawks done everything that in their possible, everything that they could possible to put talent around Trae Young? I say no. I say no. 2021, the year when we had Rajon Rondo, traded him and got Lou Williams, had Solomon Hill, all those guys. We go back to it because that's one of the times to where we actually had something to even work with. That was one season where you can say, okay, Trae had a few things, and you never know what would have happened if Trae didn't step on the referee's foot. Still don't know why he was standing there. But if that didn't happen, you never know. The sky could have been the limit. Maybe we still do lose to the Bucks, but you know what? I'd rather go down swinging than to go down with my fist down. So that's one instance. Then you think about the DeJounte Murray thing. It did not work, but he at least had some kind of help, at least a little bit. But we seen what it ultimately turned into. And now you look into this season right here, and you're like, all right, we made the trade, got rid of DeJounte. It didn't work. Thank goodness we was able to get some valuable pieces like a Dyson Daniels, who, by the way, shout out to him, 22 years old today, as I'm making this video. So shout out to him, 22, still a vet in the game. Super cool, still a threat and the same. Shout out to you. But Trae Young, man, they have not done everything that they could to put people and pieces around Trae Young. You look at other stars. You look at people from that draft, 2018. They're on good teams. They've been placed around. You look at the whole thing with Luka. He was on Dallas, and they put pieces around him, but eventually even Dallas moved on, and he's in L.A. He's still in a good situation. He's out there playing with LeBron. Eventually, he's going to be the face of the Lakers, and the rest is history when it comes to that. Smart move or not, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you what's going on. But Trae Young, that's gonna that 4-year extension, if he does decide to sign it, that means he believes into what the Atlanta Hawks are going to do. Do I think he signs it immediately? No, I don't. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying I don't think Trae Young signs an extension with the Atlanta Hawks immediately. I think he wants to continue to see the Hawks make moves, continue to see, the direction of the team, and continue to see us progress. So I think this offseason is a big offseason, even though it's not one of the off seasons that's the best because we don't have a lot of room. JJ's extension is going to kick in, so we're going to be paying guys. 2026 is really a better year as far as free agents and as far as like being able to possibly move some money around. But you think about it, guys, 2025 free agency is not promising. And you possibly can get maybe a role player or something like that, but the Hawks still have other issues that has nothing to do with Trae Young. So that's another thing for the Hawks as an organization. What are they going to do? They're going to do what's best for business. They're going to do what's best for the team. Like, how are we going to get guys in here? But I will say this, in my personal opinion, I do not feel like getting rid of Trae Young is the best situation for the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, Dominique Wilkins, Those are guys who you drafted who are some of the biggest stars here. Now, I mean, of course, you brought guys in from other teams like a Joe Johnson. That was a big name star. But, well, for the Atlanta Hawks, but that's just our history. Do you want to, if you get rid of Trae Young or if Trae Young is on the move, you have to get reasonable compensation, and you're not going to get that. They're going to lowball you for Trae Young. That's exactly what's going to happen, and I have that with conviction in my heart. You're not going to get market the right value for Trae Young because you're going to need 5 first-round picks. Trae Young is worth 5 first-round picks, especially for some of these other guys that I'm seeing out here going for some of these picks. I mean, I'm just looking at what Bradley Beal got traded for. Come on now. I'm just not no disrespect, but Trae Young is overall a better player than Bradley Beal, and I said that. And it's not just because I have his jersey on. All right, not at all. But guys, those are decisions that the Hawks have to make. We have huge decisions that we have to make. We have a guy who is a 4-time All-Star, led the league in points and assists, and is leading the Atlanta Hawks, in really one of the first years that he really is able to trust his teammates since 2021. Guys still got to knock down shots too. He's supposed to have even more assists than what he having. Get guys around him, or it's time to let him move on. But just know, if you move on from Trae, get ready for the rebuilding process. Because now you got to find somebody who's going to lead the team. And it's not going to be Dyson. It's not going to be Zaccharie. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys are still growing in their own right, and they need somebody to still be like that big brother factor. And that's Trae Young for the Atlanta Hawks. Again, who are you bringing in who is going to be better and willing to play for the Atlanta Hawks? That's what question I leave you guys. But until next time, guys, peace and blessings to you all. I'll be right back at you guys with another video because there's some more stuff going on with the Atlanta Hawks, and we got to talk about it. So until then, be right back at you. Peace and blessings to you all. Give me your thoughts.